Hi, this is Margo. This is Sunday afternoon, November the 15th, 2020. I hope everyone is doing as well as possible. I'd like to welcome you to the show today. This will be my weekly update that I will put on YouTube. We're going to go over methane and sea ice and a couple of other things. I have a new website I want to show you that one of my viewers shared with us this week, and it's another way to look at sea ice as well. So I'd like to thank Frank Weaning for that tip about the new sea ice website that we're going to be able to look at. So we're going to look at that in a little bit. So it's just been a hard week all the way around for everyone, I know, but we're here, it's Sunday again, and CAMS has changed the format, the way this page looks, and they've made the fonts bigger, and they've highlighted the columns and stuff, and so I had to switch the way I record this. Anyway, this is at 100%, and when I'm at 100%, so I can get a good big picture here for you, then it cuts off the names of what these are over here on the left. But if you get on this page, you can go to Control and hit the minus sign, and it makes it, that's at 90% now, and then you can see the names of all of them on the left. Sulfur dioxide, particulates, ozone, and so on, but I already know what those are because I've used this for so long. So I'm putting it back at 100%, and we'll go over these little quirks. We've got to get used to them as we go along. They did not change the color ledger. I'm going to show you a little trick on this color ledger, and these color ledgers have not changed since December of 2018. Sometimes people say, oh, the color ledgers have changed, and it's because they switch between level, like surface level, to like total column. I'll just go ahead and show you that right now. Now there's a different color ledger that goes with total column than surface level, but you have to refresh the page, otherwise this ledger defaults to the previous level you were at. So when you hit refresh up here, or it's F5 on the keyboard for PC users, then once your page refreshes, then you've got the new color ledger. So this is the color ledger that goes with total column. Okay, so don't get tricked if people say, oh, the color ledgers are all different. No, they're not all different. You need to refresh your page. So when we switch to surface, you'll see here it is. And see that other color ledger is still in there. So I'm going to hit F5, and it refreshes, and then there's the correct color ledger. So I wanted to get that out of the way. I've got to make sure I cover all these things. So let's start with the NOAA methane data. I've got a lot to go over today. So here we are. This is from NOAA. This is the 477/469 millibar reading for yesterday, the 14th. Here's the Met-1 satellite in the morning. Their mean or average was 1910 parts per billion. The high reading was 2355. In the afternoon, the mean was 1910. The high reading was 2450. On the METOP-2 satellite, the mean was 1891. The high reading was 2349. And in the afternoon, the mean was 1891, and the high reading was 2329. So here's the document where I'm tracking all of this data. Here's the cell for the 14th. Here are all the means I just called off, added up and divided by 4, and we come up with 1900.5 parts per billion, and that's an increase over last Saturday of 2.25 parts per billion. So here on the chart we can see it's going back up, and it should be going down. And we've peaked out twice, these two little peaks up here on September the 25th and on October the 23rd. It both peaked out at 1904.25. So it should be going down. When we look back to last year, it peaked out here on October the 12th, and then we can see that it was going down, and it did a little bit of a stair step, but the general direction was down pretty much right after it peaked out. So if we go back, here it is on October the 12th, where it was 1885.75. And then the next week it went down 1 part per billion. The week after that it went down 2.5. The week after that it went down 3.25. Then the week of November the 9th it went up 0.75. Then the week, then it was 10 days later. I didn't get in there exactly on the next week. Now I'm doing it every week and every day. So here was a 10-day lag, and a huge decrease of 7.5 parts per billion by November the 19th. Then it went up of 1 part per billion, and then it went down 5.75 and so forth. So and then the lowest last year was on December the 28th of 1861.75. So it's kind of hovering around this 1900 reading, and I think it's because of the high temperatures. We still have a lot of temperature anomalies up in the Arctic, and worldwide we're still up quite a bit. So we're really in no man's land. We don't know what to expect anymore. So here is where I'm tracking it daily now, and so here we were on the 7th of 1898.25. Then on the 8th it went up 0.75. On the 9th it went up 1 part per billion. On the 10th it went down 1.25. On the 11th it went down 1.25. The 12th it went up 1.25. On the 13th it went down 0.25. And on the 14th it went up 1. So overall, since last Saturday, it's gone up 2.25. But if you look here, it had gone up on the 6th, 1.25. So it went up 1, 2, 3, 4 days in a row. It went up. And then it went down 2 days, and then it went up 1 day, and then down a little bit 1 day, and then up 1 day. So it's really wavering, and I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen, but I will keep reporting on this every week, and here's the change. Since February 29th or March the 1st of this year, it's gone up 24 parts per billion, and since March the 1st of 2019 to yesterday, it's gone up 43.25 parts per billion. I started tracking this in March of 2019. That's why I've got that date there. So I'm thinking I'm going to have to start a new chart at the end of this year. I think, or I might just break it out into years now. I didn't think we'd be here this long, but here we are. So still rocking along. So let's look at the CAMS data. I have Saturday the 14th. I have the let's go back to the Arctic view and surface level pulled up. And see, they made this font bigger. I like what they did, except this title, they moved it over to the left, and I used to do my recording, cut off the screen here and here, and then I'd open it up all the way, but since they moved this title over, I couldn't do that. So anyway, that's just what they did. So here's the color ledger. Here's our days down here, and so here's where it left off for Friday, and we can see a lot of greens still covering most of the northern hemisphere. Just a little bit of blues here along Greenland and here in the Atlantic and here in western US and here in the Atlantic. So we've got some higher readings coming back here in Russia, and you're going to see these waves of methane just moving out. So let's just run this movie. So the data is for Saturday, and the forecast is for Sunday through Wednesday. And I do daily updates for my members on Subscribestar. And if you'd like to join our little small community, there's a link in the description box below. We'd love to have you over there. I like the platform. I put several posts up every day. Usually do a daily video showing at least methane, and usually do a climate roundup too, and show sea ice pretty much every day. We're able to do comments over there, and people can private message me, and it's a safe platform where I don't have any trolls, and it's a comfortable place for me to be. And then I archive the old posts over on my website, so If you'd like to see the older posts, I'm caught up and I'm only keeping the most recent post on Subscribestar for about a week, and then they're archived over on my website, margoshealingcorner.com. And if for any reason my YouTube channel goes away, I'm not planning on it, but you never know. You can find me at my website, margoshealingcorner.com. I have a BitChute account, and I post over there as well. So if you're not a member of the BitChute channel, the link is in the description box below. And then you can always check out my Subscribestar page as well. So you need to bookmark these pages so that, or copy and paste them into a document so that you've got them, because we don't know, things are changing so fast. We don't know what to expect from day to day. I haven't had any problems here on YouTube, but you never know. So what we're seeing these waves move out. Here it's popping up by Severnaya Zemlya still. Oh, there was an article that came out this week. I think it was in the Barents, or it was somewhere, about this area right around Severnaya Zemlya being 10°C higher than normal in the Arctic. And so that's, they put a little circle right around here, which is right where we've been seeing that methane bubbling up. And that was in October. It was 10°C higher than normal. So that's not good. Our problem spot here in the North Atlantic is still coming up. You can see right there. Now look in the forecast period. Boom, there it is. That's on Wednesday. Now we'll go down to the North Pole view. Right off the bat, India is still filled up with methane, and see how it's pouring out from the ocean across the coastline. This is the Bengal Bay, and here in the Arabian Sea, that's signs of very high methane, very high readings. So, we've seen this before at the end of the methane rise season. These waters just stay so warm that it's just hard for that methane to go down. Here's China. Here's the Persian Gulf. Here's Europe. See, it's filling up. This is Italy, and up across up to Norway. Here's North America. Here's this eastern seaboard, California, very high readings in California still, and Texas looks awful. See, it's just, and then from the Ohio Valley east. Here's the global view. So we're seeing more of this darker blue down here in the southern hemisphere. We're also seeing this light purple. See that? That's the next color down in our color ledger here. This dark blue, which is this color, is 1800 parts per billion. And then this light purple color, or anyway, is it's that next color down is 1780 parts per billion. And we're also seeing that we can't see the outline, the borders of these continents. See, Australia, because it's all in that dark blue, you can't see the line. I can see Australia where the methane is. That's how I know basically where it is. So we can see that it's overall it's going down somewhat. It's still coming up around the coastline. Watch right here where my pointer is. See right there? See, that's pretty good size popping up. And we'll look at 500 HPA. Now this is about the same level as what we're measuring in NOAA. And so it's really heavy. Looks like up here. That's coming off of Russia. Well, China's, where am I? China's down here. This is Russia. And then we've got reds just spread out. So, got some darker blues coming in. That's lower reading. Now total column. This is where all the methane is added up through the layers, and we've got the highest readings still a little bit here in China, and then look at this over India and this Bengal Bay and this Arabian Sea here. A lot of reds over that. I wanted to show ozone while I'm here. We've got a hole that has formed over the Arctic, and it's right here. It popped up yesterday. This is in the danger zone. This is measured in Dobson units. And this purplish blue, that's between 200 to 220 Dobson units. See the black line around it? That's indicating that this is in the danger zone, and it's right over Novaya Zemlya. And then it's aqua next to it, and then the green, and then the chartreuse. So this is in addition to the ozone hole that we still have in the Antarctic. It's about the same. The black is gone. So that was, see, it had gotten down, it did go white for a few days where it was below 100 DU, but now we're up to this navy blue 125, and then this blue is 150, and this blue is 175, and this blue is 200. But it's so slow about getting smaller. It's the continent is pretty much still all in the danger zone there. So there's that. Let's move on to sea ice now. Here's sea ice and snow cover from Climate Reanalyzer for today. Now, it's been having a problem up here on this eastern side. Here's the North Pole. Here's Svalbard, and here's this Fram Strait. There have been a bunch of storms coming in up here, and it's breaking up the sea ice, and it's just not looking good. And we still have a hole here in the Laptev Sea where it hasn't quite refrozen, but we see that it's come back up to the coastline here at Greenland and Canada, Alaska, and here along Russia up to the Yamal Peninsula, and then here in the Kara Sea it's still wide open, and the Barents Sea. So there's that. Let's see what it did this week. So here it was from last Sunday when I did my report, and there was quite a bit of open space still here in the Laptev Sea. So let's go through this. This was the 8th. Here's the 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th. Where's the 13th? Thought I had the 13th. Oh, I somehow missed the 13th. Here's the 14th, and here's today. So let's go through that again. Here's the 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th, 14th, 15th. That's today. So there's that. I'm going to close these out when I do them, after we look at them. Here's the Navy sea ice thickness for today. There's a hole that's opened up here on this northeast corner of Greenland. We can see that this aqua ribbon is getting a little bit bigger here on the north coast of Greenland, and this, what's left of the thickest sea ice, is kind of squeezing down, and it's moving. It is squeezing and moving, shifting down towards this Beaufort Gyre, which is kind of disturbing to me, but it's the way it is. We're seeing more blues and thicker dark purple, which is a little bit thicker. And this is where it's come back around the Russia coastline. Here's the Gulf of Ob. This is the Yamal Peninsula. We can see just a tiny bit of ice has come back along there. Novaya Zemlya is still pretty much ice-free. And so the Kara Sea is here, and then the Barents Sea is still ice-free. So let's see what it's done this week. Oh, and down here in these tributaries, it's filled up with at least light purple to dark purple, and it's going into the aqua color, which is about 2 meters thick. And Baffin Bay, it's coming back down here by Greenland. So let's see what it's done this week. So here it is from last Sunday, the 8th. Here's what it looked like then. So I'll just click through. Here's the 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th, 13th, 14th, and 15th. It's hard to tell. Let's run through that again. Not real dramatic anyway. 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th, 13th, 14th, and 15th. So there's that one. Next, this is the Beaufort Sea, sea ice thickness. This is from the Navy. Here it is for today, the 15th. So this is what's left of that thickest sea ice. Here's Alaska down here. This is the Beaufort Gyre. This is Canada. This is the archipelago. Now we can see it's anchoring in on these little islands. And the thickest is right here, this reddish area. And we're seeing a little bit more of yellow and green around there. Now I want to show you. So they did update their 30-day model on this one. So it starts on, looks like October 24th, and the forecast runs to the 22nd of November. So see how it's being squeezed down and shifting further towards the Beaufort Gyre. Okay, here's the last day in the model. So it goes forecasts out a week. So there's today. So let's see what it's done this week. So here it was from last Sunday. So look at this. So watch this. It's quite dramatic. Here's the 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th. See it shifting. See, you can see it shifting down here. Here's the 13th, 14th, and now it's being pushed to the right and being squeezed down along the coastline. And here it is today, being shoved down. Now watch. Now in the forecast, here's the 16th, See, it's this little part is being squeezed down even more. 17th, 18th, 19th. Now it's kind of sitting there and thickening up. It looks like it's the 20th, 21st, and 22nd. So that's kind of weird looking. This is the ice drift. This is centimeters per second, still in the Beaufort Sea. This is like zero movement down here, and then it goes up. This yellow is 15, the orange is 20, the red orange is 25, and the dark red is 30. Then these arrows are the direction that the ice is moving. So we're seeing high movement today, where it's pushing it over to the right, which we did see, and it's just kind of holding here. Here's the 30-day. That last one is a dud picture. Here it is today. See that huge movement today where it's just jamming it down along the coastline. And tomorrow, there'll still be quite a bit of movement tomorrow. And then see how it lightens up. It gets so much less, and so it's just going to kind of sit there for the 17th, and then there's nothing. See, nothing here on the 18th, the 19th, 20th, 21st, and then the dud. So we'll see what it looks like next week. So there's that one. Now, let's move on. Okay. I want to look at, before we look at the other stuff, let's go through Climate Reanalyzer real quick. This is maximum temperatures for today. We can see it's cold over Greenland. But see these greens coming up from the Atlantic. That's warm air. And here's the 2-meter temperature anomaly. See, it's red still over a lot of the Arctic. Here it is for the global view. See, Antarctic has got a lot of red too. So the Arctic is up 4.4 C higher than normal. The Northern Hemisphere is up 1.4 C. Worldwide, we're up 0.9 C. The tropics are up 0.4 C. The Southern Hemisphere is up 0.3 C. And the Antarctic is up 2.6 C higher than normal. So this is one reason that we're seeing problems with the sea ice. Also, here's precipitation and clouds. See the rain coming up from the North Atlantic, and then here's a big storm. Here it's snowing right over this eastern side of the sea ice, and it's broken up there. I'm going to show you that in a minute. Here's 10-meter wind speed. We can see it's pretty high here over Greenland. Here's sea level pressure. See, we've got a high set up, a low. What is that? 968. That's really low. That can be catastrophic to the sea ice. Another low set up over here over that thickest sea ice, and then lows down here by the UK. Here's the jet stream. See it zipping across here. Look at this jet stream. It looks so weird. Weather chaos. We saw sea ice and snow cover. Sea surface temperature anomaly. Their latest is from last Monday, the 9th. So they haven't updated this. But as of the 9th, you can see all these reds and browns still up in the Arctic. That's up to 5°C higher than normal, the sea surface temperature. So there's that. Now we're going to look at NASA Worldview. Refresh this. Wow, you hear that? I haven't heard activity like that in a while. So, let's go turn on the blue marble layer. So here's the sea ice concentration for today. So here's Greenland, here's Russia, Canada, and this problem area is, here's the North Pole. It's on this whole east side of the North Pole, and also on this east side of Greenland. See, and it's actually broken up. Now here's the hole here in the Laptev Sea that hasn't quite frozen back yet. Now white is good. We want to see white, and next to that, next best thing is the light pink. But when we see the reds and the yellows and the greens, that means that the ice is, it's in the stage of refreezing, or if it had been in the pink, now it's breaking up. Look, right here at the North Pole. That's yellow there. So let's go through this. Here it was last Sunday, so we'll just click through. Here's the 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th, 13th, 14th. And we had, it looks like a retreat on the 15th. So it's actually looking better today than it has. So look at this here yesterday. See the holes there? And then that's looking better today. So let's go through that again, and I'm going to be zoomed in here. So here it was on the 8th. Now also watch this edge, because it goes out and comes back, goes out and comes back. So here's the 9th. See, it goes out there. 10th, it's going out. 11th, it's going out. Uh-oh, retreat, 12th. Here's the 13th, 14th, and 15th. So here's Svalbard. See, it's free and clear, no ice. Here's Novaya Zemlya, free and clear. Here's Franz Josef Land, free and clear. Now here's Severnaya Zemlya. It's it's come back around there. Now right down here is where the methane keeps bubbling up. You see that on CAMS. So I wanted to show also, this is the link that Frank sent to us, Frank Weaning. This is Copernicus. And this has to do with, you can track all these different things on the ocean. And if you click on ocean visualization, you can add layers and stuff. You have to kind of look through what you want. There's a whole bunch there. So I'm not going to go through all that, but I'll show you what I came up with. I just wanted straight sea ice, and so this is the sea ice layer, and you can change your view. Like, see, there it is globally. If you want to look at the South Pole, you can go down here like this. Here's equator, and here's North Pole. So I've added this sea ice thickness. This is all I wanted. Alright, and if you click on settings, this little, or configure layer, see that? You can change the color scheme. And I like this one. It defaults to one of these others. I don't remember. But I like this one. And let's see. See, if you click on that, you can click on those and it changes the colors. You can choose whatever color you like. I like that one. There's another setting. I'm going to close that. You can put it, these settings, was it here? Use colorblind palette. Larry, I hope you're watching. You can use colorblind palette by default. So maybe that'll help you. I don't know. Oh, what am I doing? Hang on. I don't really like that. It's harder for me to see like that. Let me go back. But that's the colorblind palette. You can zoom in and actually see where the holes are. See, this is where it's thicker. Like here's Greenland, and you can put your pointer, and it tells you like how deep it is here. 5.7601 meters thick there. That's at the northeast tippy point of Greenland. And you can go back through, this is the time, scale, and it also shows up down here at the bottom. You can see what it was. There's January 5th. See, when you click on it, it tells the date. So on January 5th, it was 3.9505 meters thick. Here's your longitude and latitude. And goes back a year. So, wait. Goes back 2 years, it looks like. Yeah, it goes back 2 years for you. So that's kind of interesting. So I'm going to turn off the color blind and make sure my layer, that's the layer I like. These are the colors I like. Now, so here's where we are. Okay. Right here. This is, oh, that's the forecast. Here we are today. Wait, there's the 14th. It's kind of hard to get it right on the day. And I wish they had a little movie button. Maybe they'll improve it or tweak it. There it is for today. So here's the ice thickness for today. Look at how thin it is up here. Right there. That's at 0.47 meters thick. So, you know, after you look through everything else, this just corroborates everything else that we saw. Here's the hole by Greenland, 0.34256 meters thick. You can zoom in. There's 0.29654 meters thick. You can hide the graph, and then you just have that, your little point there, and then you can open it up if you want. Now if you want to see how thick it is over here, let's see. Okay, here's Russia. Okay, here's Severnaya Zemlya. Let's see how thick it is here. 0.23111 meters thick. So that correlates with what we see on the Navy website. The only thing is it's hard to see where the little skim is and where there's nothing. Now here, by Novaya Zemlya, we know there's no ice here. So, see, it's just a flat line there. So we can see the last time it had ice was here. See? That was June the 8th. So that, where that point is, June the 8th was the last time that had ice there. So this is what it looked like June the 8th. Let's go to let's go back up here. November 15th. I'm still learning this, so let's see. Let's go back to, here's November 17th of last year. Here's what it looked like. So it's hard to tell. That's my only thing. It's hard to tell where the thin ice is from the thicker ice. And I mean, where there's no ice is just, I wish there was more of a definitive, the end of the ice edge. So I thought one of these other layers would be better, but really not. It's gradual. I still like that one the best, I think. So anyway, thanks Frank for sharing that with us. Now, this is from National Snow and Ice Data Center. This is sea ice concentration from yesterday. This is the blue marble view. We can see where the blues are, where it's less concentrated, more broken up and thinner. So this band just moves across, especially here around the North Pole. This is where the storms have been, and then we still have this hole up here at the Laptev Sea. Here's the chart for extent for the Arctic, and we can, this is this year. This dotted line is from 2012. Now we dropped below 2012 in October, and now it's about to catch up to October here in November. Now they're a little bit behind because this is not the most recent. It says November 14th, but I think they're a few days behind on this, so we're still under 2012 for this time of year. And I think that's all I had. There have been a lot of earthquakes. We can look at earthquakes if y'all want. There were 321 this morning when I took these pictures. A lot of activity, just a lot. Here in the lower 48 there were 229. Southern California is showing 27 down here. Searles Valley Ridgecrest is showing 19. The largest one was this 2.1 at Coso Junction. Here in western Nevada over to Mammoth Lakes are 137, with the largest one being this 2.9 at Mena, Nevada. There was a 5.3 here yesterday or day before. And so it's been swarming. This has just really picked back up. It hasn't stopped. Here in Northern California, there was a 1.0 near Lake Almanor, and a 0.6 at Mineral. Here in Pacific Northwest over to Yellowstone, or 12, with the largest one being this 3.2 at Stanley, Idaho. Texas is showing 3 today. The largest one is this 3.5 near Snyder, Texas, and that's a big oil area. Then there were 2 here at Mentone, a 2.8 and a 3.3. That's in West Texas. Here in the New Madrid zone, there was a 2.4 near Maynard, Arkansas. This is all in the last 24 hours. Here's a 1.5 near Centerville, South Carolina, 1.5 kilometers deep, very shallow. We can see it's down near Charleston. It's down by the coast almost. So it's we don't see them there very often. And then we had one up here in New Hampshire, a 2.0 near Lyme, New Hampshire. There was a 4.6 off the coast of Nicaragua. Here in Puerto Rico, there were 5 here today. There was one yesterday down here. It was Upper Hell's Gate. No, it was for Friday. Friday the 13th, they had a 4.5 earthquake at Upper Hell's Gate in the British Isles. So, British Virgin Islands. Can't make this up. There are 3 here on this red line in the mid-Atlantic, of 2 4.9s and a 4.8. Here's Africa, and here's South America over here. South America is showing 4 today. The largest one is this 5.3 at the Chile-Argentina border, and then 4.2, 4.3, and 4.5. Hawaii showing 22 today. So here's Kilauea, here's a whole bunch at Pahala, here's north of Mauna Loa, and then up here at Mauna Kea, next to that. Alaska's showing 49 today, with the largest one being this 4.4 at Attu Station. Here in the South Pacific, we've got a 4.8 Vanuatu, 4.6 Papua New Guinea, and 4.7 Papua New Guinea. Here in the West Pacific, there were 4 5.0 Ryukyu Islands, Japan, right here. 4.4 Basco, Philippines, there. 5.1 Almeria, Philippines, and a 4.9 Volcano Islands, Japan region. Then there was a 4.1 near Kiegan, Kazakhstan. It's across the border, it's in China. But the reporting station is southern Kazakhstan. That's all of those. We're seeing more stuff up here in Northern California, 2.1 Willits. And anyway, just this whole San Andreas fault line, and then from Searles Valley all the way up and then out. It's just all spreading out. Magma's rising. It's volcanoes are coming back to life. It's the end. This is all part of the end time scenario. So I'd like to finish up reading out of Psalms. I'm in the middle of reading and recording all of Psalms. There are 150 chapters, 150 Psalms. And so this is Psalms chapter 102. Some of them are short, some are a little longer. This one's a little longer. And if you want to go to my website, you can see I have Bible readings on my website where I've got the whole book of Revelation that I recorded. If you want to see that, I'll show you all that real quick. And here's my Subscribestar archives. It started from March of 2019. That's when I started on Subscribestar. Here's what I've got for November so far. I've been posting the USA COVID readings every day from Worldometer. If you want to see what it is in your state, you can check it out. And then here are my posts from the day. And then here's my show I did from that day, like the first. There's the show. You can play it and see where everything was. I do a lot of earthquake reporting over here. Where was it? Anyway, there's that. I've got my Bible readings over here. These are teachings, just short teachings that I don't do a whole bunch on that. I mainly like to just read it. Here's the whole book of Revelation. I've recorded each chapter individually, and they're long. There are 22 chapters. And then at the bottom, I've got the whole book of Revelation all put together. It's an hour and 43 minutes. If you're not familiar with the book of Revelation, this is what we're seeing unfold right now. Here's the book of Psalms, and I've been putting these up in 5 chapter segments because they're so short. And let's see, and then you go all the way down, and this is the last that I put up, 91 through 95, and I've got 96 through 100 ready. I've got to put those up. See, and as I finish reading 5 more, then I put them up. So, also on my Subscribestar archives, on my daily shows, I do Bible reading too. So if you like those, you can just go to the shows, and I tell what chapter of the Bible I'm reading. I went through all the prophetic books of the Bible. I think there are 12. And it's right at the end of each show. And I'm working on extracting those and putting those up as, books under the Bible part. But that's in between all the research and stuff. So there's that. Just thought I'd share that. So here we are. Here we go. Psalms chapter 102. A prayer of the afflicted when he is overwhelmed and poureth out his complaint before the Lord. Hear my prayer, O Lord, and let my cry come unto thee. Hide not thy face from me in the day when I am in trouble. Incline thine ear unto me in the day when I call. Answer me speedily. For my days are consumed like smoke, and my bones are burned as an hearth. My heart is smitten and withered like grass, so that I forget to eat my bread. By reason of the voice of my groaning, my bones cleave to my skin. I am like a pelican of the wilderness. I am like an owl of the desert. I watch, and am as a sparrow alone upon the housetop. My enemies reproach me all the day, and they that are mad against me are sworn against me. For I have eaten ashes like bread, and mingled my drink with weeping. Because of thine indignation and thy wrath, for thou hast lifted me up, and cast me down. My days are like a shadow that declineth, and I am withered like grass. But thou, O Lord, shalt endure forever, and thy remembrance unto all generations. Thou shalt arise and have mercy upon Zion, for the time to favor her, yea, the set time is come. For thy servants take pleasure in her stones, and favor the dust thereof. So the heathen shall fear the name of the Lord, and all the kings of the earth thy glory. When the Lord shall build up Zion, he shall appear in his glory. He will regard the prayer of the destitute, and not despise their prayer. This shall be written for the generation to come, and the people which shall be created shall praise the Lord. For he hath looked down from the height of his sanctuary. From heaven did the Lord behold the earth, to hear the groaning of the prisoner, to loose those that are appointed to death, to declare the name of the Lord in Zion, and his praise in Jerusalem. When the people are gathered together, and the kingdoms to serve the Lord. He weakened my strength in the way. He shortened my days. I said, O my God, take me not away in the midst of my days. Thy years are throughout all generations. Of old hast thou laid the foundation of the earth, and the heavens are the work of thy hands. They shall perish, but thou shalt endure. Yea, all of them shall wax old like a garment. As a vesture shalt thou change them, and they shall be changed. But thou art the same, and thy years shall have no end. The children of thy servants shall continue, and their seed shall be established before thee. Psalms chapter 102. Yes, I do believe we are in the end times. We're seeing the evidence of it more and more. And as these end times come upon us, everything falls apart. Nothing works anymore here. And those of us who are believers know that this is not our world. And we're ready to go home. We're beyond ready to go home. And there's nothing left for us here. And this may be, God is tearing us away from what's here, letting us see that this is not our world, and there's no fixing it. There's no fixing this system, this world, and so we're ready to go home. So I'm asking for Jesus to come quickly, and I'm praying for all of the lost, and I'm praying for guidance and for discernment and for protection for all of us. And if you haven't gotten right with God and Jesus, I recommend you do it now. No one knows when your last breath might be. When is the end? We don't know until we're there, but it's feeling like it's getting a lot closer to me. So thank you for being here with me. I love you. I'm praying for you. So until next time, God bless you. Go in peace, and we'll talk to you soon. Goodbye.